All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anyone who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. I want to give a special thanks to Angry Skips 5210. Thank you very much for the super thanks. I really appreciate it. It was very kind and generous of you. Thank you. So in this video here is one that probably my favorite thing to do. And that is to watch all the LeBron fans have to defend this guy yet again. I did a video on how LeBron had a losing record against top 5 net rated teams. Of course, they're going to brush it off. No big deal. And I get it. Look, there's nothing that I'm going to uncover that's going to change anybody's minds. I get that. But what I'm setting out to do is for the people to be well informed of why LeBron James has no business being anywhere even in the discussion of the greatest player of all time. I did a video about how LeBron James was 5-8 when he plays a player top 5 for MVP. 5-8. All the other greats, they got winning records, but not LeBron. He doesn't. Same with top 5 net rated teams. And here's another one. First team All-NBA. How did the greats do? Now, some played more than others. That's another part of this, too, is LeBron James in only 54 playoff series, he played only 13 players that were top 5 for MVP. That's less than a quarter of the time. That's pretty low. I think Michael Jordan, it was 22 out of 37. You'll find that to be pretty high. I'll get right into it. Nikola Jokic. Now, I just heard a Scap Attack video today about Jokic. He's robbed for MVP. He's got the win shares and the box plus minus and all that. I'm not discounting Jokic as a great player. He is. But, I mean, let's be reasonable. You know, the guy's never beat a 50-win team. He's never had to play. I mean, he has played a couple tough teams in the playoffs, but he gets beat. And then you can say, oh, his teammates aren't good enough, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, come on, he's in what, year 9 now, year 10? He did win one championship, one of the easiest, I think the second easiest of all time, easiest path, or at least since the merger, for sure since the merger. And I'm not discounting the guy's skill. He's obviously a great, impactful player, no doubt. He's the biggest guy on the court, you know, not that different than, you know, some of the other bigs of old, you know, like when Shaq had his heyday. You know, he's the biggest guy, gets to push people around. A lot easier for him. Will Chamberlain, you know, when he's got 30, 40 pounds and 4 inches on everybody, basically every center in the league, yeah, it's not going to be as hard. Same with Jokic. You know, he's got a decisive size advantage. Nikola Jokic, so far in his career, one time in his, what has he got? 14 playoff series. One time has he played any first-team All-NBA player. Once. And that was actually the 2020 Lakers, who had 2 of them. And naturally, he lost. So he's 0-1. And that's fine. No big deal. But I need to see more of Jokic do it in the playoffs before I start putting him in top 10 conversation and some of the other silly stuff I've heard. Okay. The second player is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis also has only played one team, first-team All-NBA player. That was 2022 Boston. They got beat. What can you say? I wasn't able to do the players, you know, before the merger who had any part of their career in that, because you're playing a first-team All-NBA player very frequently. I mean, Bill Russell, you know, he's probably something like 22-1 or something, you know, something stupid because it just everybody was first-team All-NBA when you only got 8 teams or, you know, every other team or whatever. But David Robinson, he had a bad record. He's only 1-7 against teams with a player first-team All-NBA, but 3 of those teams had 2 of them. That would be the 94 Jazz, the 2002 Lakers, and the 03 Lakers. He did beat the 03 Lakers in his last season. But, yeah, most of the time, yeah, David Robinson did not come through. And that's a big reason why he's not my top 20. Some people thought he should be higher than he is. I don't. I just don't think he had enough playoff success for me. He got beat against a lot of good teams. If I'm going to hold the same thing, why LeBron is not, you know, in my top 5, 10, whatever, then I got to do the same for David Robinson. Next player is Kevin Durant. He's 8-5 against first-team All-NBA players in the playoffs. However, when you look at it, 2017 finals through the 2018 finals, that makes up 5 of them. So right there accounts for 5 of the 8. And you could even throw in the 2019 Houston Rockets. That would be 6. So when he was outside of the Golden State super team, he's only 2-5 against first-team All-NBA players. Just saying. Kevin Garnett, who wasn't that terrible considering what his teammates were and all that kind of thing. Kevin Garnett in his career is 6-8 against first-team All-NBA players. He did have to play the 2003 Lakers in the first round, who had 2 on the same team. But 6-8, all things considered, I didn't think it was that bad. So Karl Malone, here's another guy, had a lot of playoff letdowns. He was 6-6 against the teams who had first-team All-NBA player on it. I don't think that's actually that bad for a guy who never won a championship and he gets crapped on constantly. I don't think it's bad at all. Steph Curry, he's got a ridiculous record. Of course he does. Steph Curry is 14-3 against teams the first-team All-NBA player. Like Kevin Durant, the super team stuff, 2017 finals, 3 rounds in 2018, 2019 Houston, that accounts for 5 of them right there. So you take those away, it's a little more mortal, 9-3, but still, 14-3, that's what he is, super team or not. I think when you have to have super teams to start doing stuff like this, though, you should discount it in some way, shape, or form. All right, next up, LeBron James. LeBron James, in his 54 playoff series, this one gets me every time.
It's very active at the start. He's open slowly at every game. That counts in the foul. And settle things down. Gets it down low. Here's Howard. Yes! And the... Howard backing his way. Nice move. Howard rebound. There's Howard going at Ilgauskas. It counts in the foul. Alston to the bucket. And the follow by... Here's Howard. Beautiful move.
The last foul is second. Gordon gets inside. Missed the layup. Jokic the rebound. Knocked out of his hands. Porter gets it. He's going to throw it up. Shot off the mark. Jokic tried this in the hands of Bruce Brown. Jokic comes up to get it. Deflected by James. And an offensive foul called on Jokic.
The responsibility of defending Jamal Murray.
Jokic back to Murray. Another three-pointer. It's good! Jamal Murray! A lot of pressure. Murray trying to get free. Gets it inside Jokic. And Jokic gets a bucket. Just his 4th field goal. Gordon's tip missed. Another tip no good. Still alive. Jokic lays it up and in. And the foul. 4th quarter.
But I do like James guarding Jokic.
Murray up top. Jokic 5 to shoot. James reaching in. Fall away. Shot is good. 25 for Jokic.
In his 54 playoff series, he only played 11 teams that had a first-team All-NBA player on it. That's all. For a 5-6 record. That's not good. When you're supposed to be the GOAT, come on, man. Just stop. Man, you guys can't be that easy to influence, but apparently you are. Shaquille O'Neal, in his 44 series, played 17 teams with a first-team All-NBA player. That's actually quite a bit. His record is 12-5. That's a really good record. Of course, a lot of that he did it with Kobe, yada, yada, but it is what it is. Tim Duncan, not as good as you would think. Tim Duncan, in his 48 series, he played just over a third of his series, was against first-team All-NBA players. 7-10. That's his record. Now, he did have to play some, teams that had 2 on the same team. The Lakers in 02 and 03 had to deal with that. And I think the Suns in 07, even though that one's kind of iffy, but that's what they were. They were definitely first team All-NBA. No doubt about it. Hakeem Olajuwon. In Olajuwon's 29 series, he had 10 against first team All-NBA players. That's just over a third. He was 5-5. Better than LeBron with way worse teammates. That's what I always say. Olajuwon was way more successful than LeBron was. I don't care how many times LeBron went to the finals, was the number 1 seed. He only won 4 championships when he had 10 trips to the finals, with an additional 2 times he was the number 1 seed. That's only 1/3 of the time. Olajuwon only has 3 trips to the finals, but won 2 championships. That's double as successful in my mind. Okay, next player on the list, Larry Bird. Larry Bird, in his 33 series, he had 13 against first-team All-NBA players with a record of 8-5. That's solid. That's a good record, no doubt about it. Larry Bird, the greatest small forward of all time, bar none. Then we got Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, in his 43 series, had 19 against first-team All-NBA players, including in 07, there was 2 of them, that Phoenix team I was just talking about. 19 out of 43. That's just under half. And his record, 11-8. I got to say, that's pretty good to be 11-8. Nothing wrong with that at all. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson in his career was 6-3 against teams with first-team All-NBA player. And he had a couple of them that had 2, like the 83 76ers and the 87 Celtics. Beat one, lost to the other. But a 6-3 record, that's good. Very good. Excellent, actually. And then that leaves us, last but not least, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, in his 37 series, had to play 13 teams that had at least 1 first-team All-NBA player. One of them had 2, and that was the 87 Celtics. He lost. That's fine. 10-3 was Jordan's record, and I think you'll find that to be quite strong. In fact, I think only Steph Curry, with the super team and all that, had a better record. Now, outside of the super team, yeah, Curry still maintains a pretty good record. I want to say he was 14-3, so he's been 9-3 outside of the super team. So still a really good record, no doubt about it. But he didn't really play a ton of them. I mean, he did play a decent amount, I would say. But Michael Jordan, 10-3. He lost 86 and 87 Celtics. And after 87...
Dennis Johnson left of the circle holding. Plays it wide left to Danny Ainge. Down low left is McHale, 8 to shoot. Outside Dennis Johnson. He feeds it under to Parrish for the layup. Good pass by Dennis Johnson. Fadeaway shot on Oakley. Rimming no. Rebound Jordan. Michael Jordan brings it up on the drive. 3-on-2 break. Banks in for the left. In on Bird. Scoops the shot. Good. Gene Banks scoring. And the Bulls are within 8 with Banks. Gene Banks with a scoop shot missed. Ainge the rebound. Boston on the run to McHale. 2-on-1 Bird. Back to McHale for the dunk. Super pass by Bird. A touch pass to Kevin McHale. Into the front court. Pax comes down the lane right side. Dishes for Jordan. Michael lean in shot right of the lane. He hits his first field goal of the night. About an 8-foot lean in from the right side. And he's right of the key. Hands to Jordan. Michael foul line. Fadeaway shot left of the lane. Rimming good. Michael.
The next 11 times that Michael Jordan played a first-team All-NBA player, he won 10 of them. He went 10 out of 11. And that's pretty insane. But once again, there's a handful of players with a losing record, even out of all the players I named you, right? Well, except for like Jokic and Giannis, 0 for 1. But guys who have some tenure, there's a handful, like David Robinson, Kevin Garnett, LeBron James, losing record once again. First team All-NBA, top 5 for MVP, top 5 net rated team. Like, where do you guys draw the line? At what point are you like, yeah, that's not good or whatever? Do you just always have to make an excuse for this guy? At what point do you look at it and say, you know what, man, he really isn't doing good when he goes up against a good player or a good team? That's when it all falls apart for LeBron. He's pretty much like hit or miss when he has a super team himself. If he doesn't have one, he's done. Forget it. But if he has one, it's like half and half, basically. That's what it was. I mean, that's why it was in Miami. They won 2 championships in 4 years, 4 trips to the finals, 2 out of 4. In the 3 years he had Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, 1. In a game 7, a 7 game. I was just talking about that video against Golden State in 2016. At what point do you say, yeah, he kind of underwhelmed with all the trips he had to the finals and number 1 seeds and all that? He just didn't get it done against the best teams, as many shots as he had at it. Now, if you're looking at LeBron, it's just a regular, average Hall of Famer. Okay, yeah, he had a good career, had some shortcomings, whatever. Sure, he had a good career. But you're looking at LeBron through the lens of the GOAT? Please, way off base. This guy just has so many shortcomings. People accuse me of you cherry picking. That's just it. It shouldn't be so easy to cherry pick LeBron's career. It shouldn't be. Cherry pick Bill Russell's career. Go for it. You're not going to be able to do it. Cherry pick Michael Jordan's career. You're not going to be able to do it. Exactly. That's why these guys have actual GOAT claims, where LeBron's, it's just a media fantasy, and you guys are just following suit with it like robot sheep. Wake up, man. It's just not how it is. Here's a guy that just played a long time. You say, oh, at a high level. Well, they allow LeBron to get away with murder. Let's not forget about that. But he doesn't play defense. He load manages, picks his spots. His stamina is not what it used to be. So I don't want to hear that it's such a high level. I mean, believe me, in the last 4 years, LeBron's team has not been very good at all. They won, 2 series in the last 4 years when he had a top 75 player, top 5 or 6 player in the NBA with him. So if he's playing at the high level you guys claim he is, then he's sucking, because he should be doing better than getting bounced in the first round, not making the playoffs. I mean, yeah, I know they had the one run where, they beat Golden State, and I think it was Memphis. Come on, Memphis, think they're going to do anything? But even still, and then they play Denver, and they get freaking swept right out. That's what I'm saying. I mean, this guy's just got too many of those. Not 1, not 2, but a whole laundry list of shortcomings, meltdowns, and failures. It's way too many, and you guys just either ignore it, cover it up, act like it's no big deal. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a guy who is propped up, hyped up more than LeBron James in my entire life. I just haven't. I've never seen anything like it. A guy who himself claims to be the GOAT. That right there should automatically say, well, I don't want to follow this guy. He's an arrogant prick. But nope, people still do anyway, probably because they're arrogant pricks. And it's right up their alley. Yeah, LeBron, say it. You're the GOAT, man. You guys are a joke. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. And sharing the video, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. I've been giving daily content. Trying to be very active in the comments as well. That's it. Until next time.